30, 20, 10.
So that it kind of lags, and then it will start to come off to the right.
And then the rest is the missed approach, which of course we won't need.
Vfr 17 traffic headed to your left.
Okay, you can start a speed break now.
Clear! There you go. Okay.
Yeah, it was good fun.
What we would do now on a short flight like this is hand over the control.
You're making me tense.
You can actually click on any point on the map.
You're actually making me feel a little nervous. I'm like, man, I'm about to go fly a real plane. That's what I feel like right now.
Yeah, we're gonna go do it just like we would in real life.
What is going on, guys? It's Rob, aka FlightSimToday, and today I wanted to talk to you about an awesome little service that I've stumbled upon called FlightSimCoach, which is FlightSimCoach.com. Essentially, you can go in. It's a group of flight instructors. It's real-world flight instructors that will use your sim to help teach you all about flying and everything to do with it. But one neat little service that I have found as part of this is the SimGym flight missions. And essentially, each week a new flight mission is released for you to go ahead and get your teeth into, and then learn new little bits about flight planning, reading charts. You've got different ways of flying this, so you can do it on your own, VFR, IFR. As we go through this, all the information is given to you, and they also then have a group session where you fly with the instructor. So in this sample that I will link to in the description below, so you can go and check it out yourself. In this example, Alan Edwards would have been at the time the flight instructor for this flight. And then you're flying as a group, like I say, you can ask all the questions as a group and find out, improve your knowledge of flying. But essentially, this flight that you can try out, when you scroll down on the page, you've got all these links, which I'll cover some in a second, but you can check the weather, any NOTAMs, the sectional charts via SkyVector, the airport data, everything's included just to click on and link out to. But this route is taking us from Uniform 42, which is South Valley Regional Airport in Salt Lake City. And we are flying over to Spanish Fork Municipal Airport, again in Utah. If you use Pilot Edge, it is going to tell you the coverage for this, and they do try and only pick out airports for Pilot Edge, so you Pilot Edge users can get full coverage each and every time from this. But the only coverage is Salt Lake City approach. I say the flight time is, or flight distance I should say, is 32 nautical miles. Here we have the sectional chart coming out of South Valley, flying southeast down to Spanish Fork Municipal, and then we can see in here all the information that we need for the flight, which we can come back to in a bit. So for all flights, they do in this one list the weight and the center of gravity, but in this instance the weight for one passenger, full fuel, no baggage, and then this is where the knowledge comes in, where you're learning as you go. So in here we've got the weather reporting, a little bit on the weather reporting. So Spanish Fork Municipal Airport has an AWOS, I don't know if it's a 3 Papa Tango or 3 PT system, and it's asking us what does this indicate, the 3 PT. And you can literally click on this link here, which will take you to the FAA website, and you can read up on what this system is. I'm not going to give the answers as we go this, because you can go off to this page and find out yourself. Again, we've got some suggested reading in terms of mountain flying. Again, the FAA website takes you straight to the point for mountain flying. And here we've got some questions for you to, once you've read this, is answer. So what is a mountain wave? And also to fill in the blanks. So all it takes to form a mountain wave is wind blowing across the range at blank knots or better at an intersection angle of not less than blank degrees. Again, once you know all this, but you've found this out, you'll know for the future. So you're learning as you're flying. If you wanted to include any failures along the way, X-Plane users can do so on here. Obviously, Microsoft Flight Simulator doesn't have an ability to simulate failures, but there is a GitHub sort of like add-on, as it were, that you can get that can simulate failures for you should you wish. Again, the link is on this page. As we go down now, this is where we cover both VFR flights and IFR flights. So for VFR flights, if the real world weather is IMC, okay, then the weather, we can set the ceiling of 9,000 MSL with a visibility of 10 miles. Okay, it's warning us here about the airspace. The airspace around us is a Class B. Okay, you're going to have a lot of aircraft arriving and departing Salt Lake City Airport, which is to the north of the airfield. So bear that in mind. And then also testing your knowledge of reading the sectional chart. And here it's saying, what does this symbol mean? Okay, and again, the link to the guide where you can read and find this answer out for yourself. Okay, and then the last little bit for the VFR is a what if. So if you had an engine failure midway through the flight, which is near the city of, and I can't pronounce this, but is it Lehigh or Lehigh? What might be some suitable landing options? And it says, consider using satellite images on Google Maps to see what is available. And they link to Google Maps. And when you click the link, they actually have taken you directly to the city. So you don't have to search it. It's going to take you straight here. And you can look down for your flight planning and decide, if we had it, if we're coming in down the south, we look for some open fields, possibly here, all down on the west side of a lake. There's quite a lot of open fields here, but you've got to bear in mind we're coming into a kind of valley area. It looks like there's Highland Glen Park, through golf courses you could take here, and yeah, so you can just keep looking all the way down. Looks like down this the shores of the lake here, and we do also have an airport down of Provo. So yeah, this could be a good area, I would think myself. But again, I'm not 100% an expert. But there's a lot of fields to potentially land in and ditch if you had to. So then we look at IFR flights. So if the weather is VMC, then it tells you how you can set the weather in the sim again to make it IFR. And then we do also have some knowledge on the approach plate. So review the meaning of this symbol on the approach plate, and again the link to the guide where you can find information. And then what does the highlighted note mean here? Link to the information. So you can see you are constantly learning with every single mission, new information, new knowledge you can take going forward. It's a really neat way of doing things. And the last little chunk to look at here is that they've also included an accident report of an NTSB accident report from an instrument rated pilot who flew this trip. Okay, he cancelled his IFR flight plan and proceeded under VFR, but there were still weather conditions that did not offer a VFR, and obviously had an impact in the terrain around him. And unfortunately, it looks as though he or she did die in this example. But you could read what went wrong, so you can bear that in mind as well. So it's really, really cool little service that they have, and that is every week you can fly a different trip. And, and in theory, you could do, one flight VFR, one flight IFR, and one flight with a group. You take 3 times in a week doing the same thing and learning a lot of information. In terms of the links that we saw here, again, I won't click through them all, but here you've got the NOTAMs. So, for example, I've gone and put in the NOTAMs for the both airports which we're flying out of and into. And you can see here for there's cranes on the departure to bear in mind, and the radio altimeter is unreliable, so when we make the approach as well, we've got to bear that in mind. And also on runway 12, the end of the runway 12, the lights are out to tell you it's the end, so you're just going to keep that in mind as well. And there's also a procedural change in here. that you can read as well. The weight and balance calculator, where you're just going to pick your aircraft and then add in the information that you need to create that correct weight and balance. We already know SkyVector. When you click the link, it does automatically put the information for the flight, so you don't have to go off and do this. You click it, it populates all the information, and yeah, away you go from there. And then we can look here with the flight is that we've got to stay below 6,000 on the way out. It's below 8,000 in this sort of area here, and then we can go below 10,000, but it's 8,000 for our crew, so we're going to go 5, 7, 8 on the climb out as we come out over point of mountain in this whole visual area here. So we've got this mountain, we're just basically going to fly over top of it. It's at 6,000, 6,500, just at 6,700 feet. Round it up, so we should clear that nice and easy coming down. Here's the lake, here's the city of Lehi, however you want to say that again, and we'll head all the way down. Bearing in mind that today, as I'm going to fly this, it's marginal VFR into Spanish Fork, so there is a potential that we may have to pick up an arrival procedure, which is again from in SkyVector. You can access these files, and it will be here. So there is that potential that we would fly over to the waypoint of Yalvu, I think you pronounce it as, which is roughly around here, and then down into runway 12 at Spanish Fork. But yeah, guys, check it out. I'll leave a link in the description, but for now, let's head out to the aircraft and get this show on the road. Okay, so here we are in the sim. South Valley Regional, ready to go. We're going to start the aircraft up. We've done our walk around, and we'll go from there. What I am going to do though is I am no longer going to talk the rest of the way, so this will be like more of a montage as we go out, and then I will see you on the other side.
Clear.
November 8289er Alpha taking off runway 16 south departure. Report them in sight. FedEx 1430 have the traffic. Piper 89er Alpha have the generic in sight. touchdown.
Well, guys, there we have it. Welcome to the destination airfield. But yeah, that's it. So like I said, every week you can fly one of these flight missions with all this information. It takes you to some interesting destinations, interesting parts of, well, the US, I guess. Any questions? Leave them in the description, or leave them in the comments, I should say. And other than that, I'll see you soon.